is Davion Senior. Y'all see my face. I'm on camera this time, and today I'm going to be talking about The Last of Us. This is a quick review on The Last of Us series. I said video game. I almost said video game, but the series that just came out on Sunday. Now, overall, I know it's only the first episode, but the reception for the series, for the episode, has been like tremendous. It's been really good. I've heard a lot of good reviews, and I'm not sitting over here going off reviews because I played the game, and the game was one of my favorite video games of all time, damn near. So watching the series and basically seeing the Venn diagram from the game and the series, it was pretty incredible because I've seen a lot of similarities, and I've seen in certain parts where they, like for instance, where Sarah was left alone in the house. You don't know what Joel went to do. You don't know why or what. You don't know anything. But in the series, we get a more concrete build up to what happened, like how Joel had to go bail out Tommy, and then we get to where Sarah's walking alone, then she gets alerted. It's a lot of similarities from the game, but they did it in a more cinematic fashion. Hence, the game is already cinematic itself, but you know how it is when you're doing live action video game adaptations. The acting was pretty solid. I did have some doubts about Pedro Pascal, if I'm saying his name right, being casted as Joel, because I didn't really see him as Joel. Hence, he couldn't really grow a beard. And I'm not throwing shade at him at all. He's a terrific actor. He's killing it right now. He was in Narcos. He was in, I think, Game of Thrones at some point. He was in all these other projects, real solid projects that people respect, that has changed pop culture. So this guy, he's that guy. He's him. You know what I'm saying? But at first, I seen that he couldn't really grow a beard. I can't grow a beard either. But the only reason that is because Joe had a beard and I wanted him to look rough. But in the episode, in this one episode, I seen how he sounded like Joel, the way he moves like Joel, he grunts like Joel, he fights like Joel, screams like Joel. It's Joel. Like, he is Joel. Now, one issue I did have was the casting for Ellie, only because, and I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, this is not a direct attack at the actress or so, but what I'm saying is she appears to be more, never mind. I just felt like they could have chose a better person for Ellie, because when you look at Ellie in the video game, you see these traumatic, innocent eyes. She's an innocent soul, but she's just been through a lot. She's been through a lot of depth, trauma, and grief. She wasn't able to experience the normal world that we live in real life. You know what I'm saying? So she questions a lot about what happened in the past. And then she doesn't even know her mother. But maybe we may get to see who her mother is, because in the trailer, I did see a screenshot of a woman holding a baby. And a lot of people say that's Ellie and her mother. And hence that it was actually, what's her name? Ashley Johnson, who played Ellie in the game, who's supposed to be playing Ellie's mother in the series. So that's kind of dope. That's dope. I'm glad that they have them involved somehow. But when you see Ellie, you have a lot of sympathy for her because she's been through a lot. She lost her best friend, and then if you played the second game, you see what she's been through. So when you look at Ellie, you just see like this innocent, helpless, who can fight. She can fight, but this innocent, helpless girl that you want to keep around, that you feel obligated to protect. And that's how Joel sees Ellie, and that's why that dynamic in the video game was so strong and well respected. Now when we look at this girl, we'll just say she doesn't have that. We're not gonna dwell on that too bad, because she actually plays a good Ellie. Her antics and her mannerisms as Ellie is pretty solid. So we're gonna give her an A. We're not gonna tear her down. But all throughout the show, characters like Tommy and Marlena, Tess, of course they didn't look exactly like them, but they carried their essence. They had their essence, their soul. So you can tell that they studied and put a lot of time into getting the characters right when it was come time to play them on their scenes. The environment, basically the first mission environment, I've seen a lot of similarities. They did a great job at that. The apocalyptic world, being how it's been post 20 years since the outbreak has happened, I think they did a pretty good job with the practical effects, with the practical setup. It's not so much CGI. It doesn't look cheap. It actually looks like a purely filmed television show. Just a camera, but not with all these effects and all this color saturation. They got it down pat. The music, I felt like the music didn't stay as faithful to The Last of Us music. I'm not talking about the theme song, but I'm just talking about as far as action sequences or thrilling scenes. The music in The Last of Us, it had more of a bleak sound. This one has more, the typical television scores type music, but that's okay because it's not oversaturated. Overall, this series, just based off one episode, I feel like this series is gonna deliver on so many levels. They stay faithful to the source material while adding on new things to make the story even beefier. And so I have a feeling, I have my critiques about the casting for Ellie, but as we progress throughout the season, I feel like she's gonna grow on me, and then everything I said about her that I'll forget about. You know what I'm saying? I do see a likable dynamic and relationship forming in between Joel and Ellie, being that we love them in the video game, so we just want to see if we're gonna love them in the actual show. But overall, the show takes so many elements and just builds up on its own. I liked how they had when the woman was transforming, or when she was getting ready to become a walker, in the background, it was all blurry, where you can kind of see her like she's getting ready to turn. In the game, she would have already turned. So they put a lot of cinematic purposes into it to make it seem like it's an actual original project, opposed to just, we don't take this project, we're gonna break it down and do every single thing, so we won't get criticized, so we're gonna do exactly that. No, there's ways to do that. It's just a lot of companies, they don't really do it well. But overall, I enjoyed this episode. They added a few new things to it that didn't have me like, well, what are y'all doing? And that's pretty much all I have to say about it, man. It's only the first episode. I will be doing videos for The Last of Us. That's confirmed. I don't know so much about prediction videos because a lot of people have played The Last of Us, so don't expect too many at least. You may get a few analyst videos, but that's pretty much it because a lot of people have played The Last of Us and they know what happens. Even though this is a television adaptation, they may add something to it, but we already know what we know. But anyway, that is my quick review for The Last of Us. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Be sure y'all hit that like and hit that subscribe button, man, because we trying to go up to 3K this time. So help me get up there, man. And y'all be easy and have a good day.